And we are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, in the past, present, or future, wherever and whenever you are. Welcome to another edition of the Living World of Darkness, Changeling. I almost said Changeling the Lost. That's a completely different game. boy, have things gone in a real dark turn since. Although I may or may not be playing an Exile True Fae and Changeling the Dreaming, but that's another story. Moving on, back onto things. Speaking of Charles, Charles is waiting for his appointment. He's actually kind of surprised that Rob has actually reached out to him. Not many do reach out, and Rob, at least in the first session, did not seem like someone who was going to willingly reach out for a session. But stranger things have happened, and plus, it'll be a good opportunity to talk to some, maybe figure out some more things of what's going on with this satyr in particular. But he's got the place. It's relatively immaculate. There are a few things that have been packed away. That stuff will be noticed by Rob, like certain things on the bookshelves have been packed away as soon as he comes in. But otherwise, the office still looks relatively spick-span, comfortable. He's got the chairs set across from each other. He's got the pitcher of water filled up so that they can that someone needs to drink. The ice is in there, and he sort of taps it for a moment. And for the time being, he just takes the time to sit down and wait. And he doesn't move an inch when he gets into these states. It's like he's just naturally supposed to be still like a statue. But he just sits there waiting for when Rob makes his arrival, thinking about a great many things. Lots of changes have happened across the city, and would be nice to talk to Rob. Well, to get Rob's perspective on a few things here and there. But at least for the first hour here, that's not what we're going to be talking about. Not entirely. So he waits.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting. So if we were to zoom down the hallway and out of the station where Charles's office is, you'd see about a half a block away, a gentleman steps out of a taxi, and he, to the average person on the street, it's almost like unmemorable is probably the only thing that would come to mind, largely because he is wearing a pair of yellow sunglasses that do quite a bit to help misdirect from the fact that there are goat's feet poking out of his khaki joggers and not man feet. He makes his way, he pays the taxi driver and makes his way pretty cheerfully, actually, toward the station. He's got his phone in his hand, and he's doing that thing where he plays music out loud without headphones because he just doesn't care about anybody's preferences around him. He is like rocking out, singing in falsetto as he sort of like wanders in and greets a couple of the like intake people by name, like first name, like he's like Kathy, sort of situation. Makes his way back to the office where Charles is, and is the door open or closed?
It's closed.
Okay, so he would do the the little polite like double knock and then stick his head into the door.
And for Rob, seeing Charles the way he is now, he's, like I said, he's just perfectly poised as a statue there when he peeks his head in. But definitely a certain quality. It's almost like, you're leaving one room you're leaving a home that has been air conditioned and stuff like that, and you hit like this wall of humidity when you reach it, and that's sort of what it's like just being in his presence. Everything else seems almost muted, and everything he seems more real than everything else around him. Surreal, like everything else is just this thing, but him. The ivy vines for his hair, the stained glass windows for eyes, the diamond fangs for teeth, the marble for skin. Everything about him just seems more real than everything else. And when he turns and he looks at Rob, it's like that gaze so alien and strange. And when he speaks, his words almost envelop you like molasses or a blanket of some kind. It seems so warm and inviting and comforting. And yet at the same time, you can't help but feel like the stab of icicles in your heart as it just cuts, as the words cut so beautifully deep. Rav, I've been waiting for you. Please come in.
For a second, Rav is just staring. Like, it's not like mouth agog, wide-eyed staring. It's this kind of dark, sort of like heavy look. And he catches up with the fact that Charles is speaking a little way into the sentence and kind of shakes himself out of it and says, hi, yeah, hi. And he like grins a little bit and makes his way into the room. You can see as he is getting settled, he's got just like a white shirt with some black stripes on it and a denim shirt over top of it, like a long sleeve shirt. But the back of that shirt is embroidered with the word babe in like baseball font.
Right.
And he's got, the hat pulled down over his horns. His hair is in like a low bun today. It's not just free flowing. And he sort of pushes the sunglasses up off of his face so that he can actually look at you in the eye, and does his usual sprawl, or what you assume, I guess, is his usual sprawl from what you've seen in the chair across the way. And says, so, how's it hanging?
It hangs. It hangs quite well, thank you. And how about you, Rav?
Been all right. Business is good.
Business. Well, timer hasn't started just yet. Would you like to say that, talk about your business for the actual session, or would you like to do just exchange us a little bit of pleasantries before and after?
I mean, I don't know, man. I thought you were supposed to be in charge here.
It's your session.
Kind of. I'm not paying you for it. Well, I mean, I guess technically I'm paying in terms of like time and, I don't know, my reputation as a stand-up citizen or something.
Well, if that's the case, then I think it's best we get started then. And he hits the timer for the hour. Very curious. You didn't strike me as the one who would actually reach out for their next session. What made you decide to come?
Well, I'm trying to do the whole above board thing right now. Giving it a fair shake and all, and hadn't heard from my parole officer in a little while, so I also thought I
do apologize. You broke up on mine.
Oh, sorry. He says trying to do the above board thing, be a stand-up citizen right now, and hadn't heard from my parole officer in a while, so I thought I should probably make my own arrangements.
Mm-hmm. And there's a very sort of like he doesn't move. He doesn't like give much of an indication of anything. I'm surprised no one called you.
Tell me about what?
He's gonna perception psychology that. He just wants to make sure that Rob really didn't get the memo. Wow, apparently Rob's one success.
What are you trying to suss out exactly? Are you trying to suss out whether he knows at all or whether...
Yeah, basically wants to... For some reason, I'm getting an echo back. But
sorry.
It's not your fault. But basically, he's trying to figure out whether Rob actually heard the news of what happened or not. Or he's just playing coy.
He can probably tell that, like, there's maybe a layer of, like, nuance there that could be him playing coy about something. Like, I mean, I will say from a character perspective, nobody did call him. So he, you know, he's not like, hey, somebody told me about this thing and I'm just going to bring it up to, like, it's more of a feeling out. He's kind of just testing the water. Like, it's that vibe, right? Like, where you're maybe not totally sure if he's, like, being an asshole on purpose.
Gotcha.
Which he generally is, so.
Yeah. So he's got at least an inkling that Rob might not have actually heard. That's a little disconcerting. Usually I'd think they'd keep the people involved informed.
This doesn't sound like new job, new relationship, good move to a new city sort of situation.
And there's a wry smile for a moment. Unless you believe this talk that she went to a farm upstate.
I think that happened to a couple of my dogs. Must be a hell of a farm. So it was something bad.
You read the newspaper? Or see the news about the animatronic incident?
I am aware.
Wasn't an animatronic.
That I knew. Didn't know that she was there.
She was. I was one of the ones who found her.
I was kind of hoping it was just a tragic dismemberment accident, but couldn't be so lucky. He seemed a little not surprised, but like still disappointed, you know, like when you expect the worst and get the worst. And he reaches into the pocket of the denim shirt that he's wearing, and he says, thought I recognized this. Thought you might want it. And he takes out, it's like a little piece of velvet cloth. Just, you know, it looks like it probably came off of a drapery or something. Like it was, you know, it's nothing special. It's just a hand cut piece of cloth. And he hands it over. It's like folded in and around something. And he hands it over to Charles, or holds it out to him.
Charles takes it after a long moment. takes it, and he unfolds it. What is it?
Okay. In the startlingly light package, clean and like shining, like it just went through a jewelry bath, is a very familiar ring.
And there is a very long pause. And he reaches over to the timer and pauses it. And while this is happening, it's like the atmosphere changes. And something that Rob may have been slightly noticing is that maybe he just thought it was an aesthetic of the chair. Maybe he was a little too caught up with his appearance and his new presence and everything. But there's thorns and brambles crawling around Charles's chair. And the moment the ring came out and he was looking at it, they start to spread. And they start curling around like the table and the walls and crawling around the book as he's staring at this ring. And he smiles far too wide.
Regret everything.
And where did you get this?
I mean, I don't know if that's as important as the fact that you have it now.
I think it is quite important.
How important?
Was it a red cap? Rob? And he's looking very intently at it.
Might have been. I don't know. I meet a lot of people. What would you do if it was?
I haven't quite figured that out just yet.
Mm. That is disappointing. Figured you would be a man with a plan.
Oh, I'd like to get to know them a bit.
I did.
Did you know?
Sure. Why wouldn't I? Sorry.
Sorry, I think the roommates are
echoing. I'm like nervous laughing over here. It's fine.
It's fine.
You're gonna need to get a night guard if you keep grinding your teeth like that.
So you found this? Or bought this? I should say. It's rather polished. Cleaned up from the way it was.
Call it a freebie with purchase.
So they're just handing it away?
Not just that, but...
We're off the record now, Ron. If there's something you want in exchange for the information that you have, I'm sure we can talk about it.
I do love haggling. I was kind of hoping that scenario like this is something you might have put some thought into already. I like to keep my hands clean, you see.
Of course. After all, you didn't get me the ring.
I did.
Oh no! I'm making sure there's no connection. Anonymous buyer. Buyer, I should say. Satyr 666 on eBay. Just a random individual.
I'm not entirely sure what you're talking about.
Well, I thought you were meaning you didn't want any in there. Sorry, the echo's really messing with me.
That's okay. That could be in character or out of character. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, he's out of character. He's referring to the saying. It's like, well, I thought something you'd thought about this. It's kind of thing. Like, oh yeah, of course, you don't want any connection to anything. Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's basically what he's saying. It's like, oh yeah, of course, you didn't give me this ring.
Oh, gotcha. Satyr 666. That's funny.
On eBay.
Do you think that is a good gift? I might have another one.
This was the freebie. What's the price for this one?
Consider that token of friendship. Didn't know her super well, but she was nice. You seem not very nice.
I've heard that I've been known as a good cousin. Or a kindly one.
Nice is cheap. I'm not looking to buy nice.
But you're willing to buy something. Well, maybe not untamable.
I'm a pretty friendly guy. I can make nice friends wherever I want.
But you don't want nice.
Oh, nice has its place.
Of course it does.
But no. Right now, I don't need nice.
What are you needing?
Oh, it's kind of a two birds, one stone win-win situation. You know, like I said, I'm a friendly guy, and I make a lot of friends in a lot of interesting places, and you know, I like to keep in touch. And I've got a friend right now that I think you might like to meet. Am I wrong?
Oh, I think I really like to meet this individual. But there's always a prize.
Maybe I just want to be your friend.
We're not going to be friends. I've learned what the depths of that means. Fairly recently, and it took the actual death of something that I didn't appreciate until it was gone to realize. And when I did, it made me realize just what friendship really is. You want to be friends?
For a given definition.
I don't think you understand what that means. But that doesn't mean we can't be. And he takes a moment, licks the front of his teeth, and his tongue is crimson, like freshly spilled blood. Partners of a sort. And maybe, just maybe, as time goes on, we'll see whether or not we truly do become friends.
Well, I won't hold my breath, but business partnership's just as good. Or something of a business partnership. In that we both have business that needs dealing with.
But your investment is something different.
Yeah, kind of. It's not yours.
But you need me involved in some way.
Let's just say that I am very interested in facilitating a meeting between you and my friend.
Very well. Very well. We'll have this meeting. I would very much like to have a conversation with them.
Talk all you want, but assuming that this all shakes out, I don't really expect to hear my friend talking a whole lot afterward.
What do you have in mind?
I don't want to stifle your creativity.
Oh,
Use
no,
your
no, no,
imagination.
no, no. I'm not asking you for what I might do. I'm asking about this meeting. What your plan is to get us all together.
I won't be there. Don't be ridiculous. Oh, that's cute, though. No, I'll just get the two of you in the same room. I think you can probably handle it from there. You seem highly capable, what with all of the devil garden happening right now.
He says as he sort of turns and looks at it. Yes. Some respects. I almost feel like I'm bringing home wherever I go.
Kind of hard to do, and part of that ain't walking around with you anymore. I literally can't tell if you're frozen or if you're just sitting there.
Well, great, I'm doing it perfectly then. It is really unnerving.
It is upsetting.
Not to mention murderous and me.
Yeah.
Those intimidation rolls are at 3.
Rav doesn't have a lot of self-preservation.
No, I can tell. Oh, gosh. So, where would this meeting be taking place?
I mean, kind of take your pick. Like, maybe not like white van in an alley style, but within a reasonable location, I can probably make it happen.
My pick.
Best would probably be my loft, but I don't know that I want all this going down there, so
No. Best it's not. Anywhere associated with either of us. I'll have to make some preparation. Let me get back to you on the location.
Sure.
But I am curious on what you can tell me about the individual in question before I get the chance to meet them.
Surly, scary, decent lay. Not a lot.
They cleaned that ring very professionally.
Sort of. That was more me. I'll be honest.
Not quite as clean when you found it, was it?
I don't think they put a lot of stock into presentation. If that's what you're asking.
But despite the lack of presentation, there's something you covet.
Well, yeah. There's a lot of things I covet. I'd covet you if you wanted. He winks.
Yeah. In the words of an associate of mine, that'd be quite unprofessional.
Yeah. Because I am a consummate professional.
So
I don't
is
understand.
she.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So is she.
I've never understood people who say that business and pleasure shouldn't be mixed.
I find them to be one and the same.
Oh, look at that. Something in common.
All right, I'll accept that there's a degree wanted to keep some things under wraps. Keep it a mystery until you bring them into me, and you do whatever it is that you want or need. While I deal with my wants and needs.
You know, I think this might be something else we have in common. Win-win, like I said.
Please do thrill me with your acumen.
I don't quite take your meaning.
Tell me your tale.
What about?
Oh. You tease a tale and you withhold it. There's a reason. There's a reason.
I don't want to tell you. That's the reason. I didn't come here to sell you a story. I came here to sell you an opportunity.
But it's not worth anything without a tale. That's what we are, aren't we? We're tales, stories, all wrapped up. We can't help it. We must make stories.
Can't say I disagree. In fact, I think that makes this the falling action of yours. I'm a tertiary character at best.
But everyone's the protagonist of their own tale. And you sell yourself short.
I don't know that I would call myself a protagonist. Anti-hero, maybe, or a damsel in distress. Locked up in my tower, can't get down, you know. Broke those rules, though. That's why I'm on probation.
You've given me quite a bit. But I'm still curious what you haven't asked me for in return. Friendship? That's not it. Partnership? Maybe. Elimination of a mutual if not for the same reason. Entity. No, I'm sure you would have done something yourself.
I mean, despite the tragedy, it was a turn of good fortune for me that there's somebody else who's as invested as I am into seeing justice done.
Justice.
I'm just trying to be Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm just trying to be neighborly. I hope that in the future I will have earned your good esteem.
Ah, there it is. Well, you bring them to me. And I think good esteem would be well earned.
I think we can make that happen. And that's good to know. Of course, I can't force you to hold an opinion of me, but I try to treat my friends well.
Hopefully as well as you treat your business partners.
Close.
He looks at the timer. And he looks at his watch. I think we're good for this session. I'll write up a particularly glowing review for this particular one.
Things really do work out when you take your fate into your own hands.
Or you become the author of your own tale.
I like to think of myself more as a ghostwriter.
I'll be in contact with you. Is there a particular time you'd like this done by?
Whenever your schedule is open.
I'll let you know then. And I'll have the location by then.
Great. He like claps his hands together. Totally casual, jovial. So is that it for today, or do you want me to talk about my feelings?
Well, I think what you've given me has you well on the way of getting cleared. But we do have at least one more session we have to do. But let's just say you're making progress.
Glad to hear it. Do I get a gold star?
If you want to go elementary.
I think there's still fun to be had even as an adult. Stickers are nice. the small rewards, you know. They really make it worth the effort.
Did I have something? For you. And he goes into his desk. And he brings out a small sculpture. And it's clay. It's nothing remarkable or anything about it, but it is a bird on a log. But around its foot and connected to the little log is a small gold chain.
You asshole. Rav doesn't quite stop smiling, but his expression goes a little pinched for a second. Just a second.
Yeah, that's long enough for him to try to dig into that.
And he says,
1, 2,
oh, go ahead.
3, 4, 5.
Success. Oh, is that a
psychoanalysis roll?
Okay, what does that do again? I know you've told me this before.
It's like a perception, but it's a little more in depth. It starts getting a little more into the connections of why they might be this way, that sort of thing.
Okay. Okay, 5 successes. It's a lot of successes. I guess Charles is good at his job.
Surprisingly.
I'm trying to think of how to couch it with what you already know about him.
Gotcha. I'll let you think. I need you to walk off for just a moment.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So, if I'm remembering correctly, Rav told Charles the Goldfinch was his favorite painting, right? Or was one that he talked about in a session.
Yeah. Yes. That's why he did that.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that I was remembering right, that he actually espoused that, and it was something that he would remember having talked about, because I don't remember, because it's been 3 months.
Oh, of course.
My bad. So what you get from that is like it obviously takes like just a second for him to kind of like understand what Charleston's getting at, because he's like yeah. And for a guy who is or was as jazzed about that particular piece of artwork as he was last time that you talked, he looks unhappy. And not just like disappointed, like angry a little bit. And there's a little bit of tension that kind of comes into his frame that is uncharacteristic of how Rav has been. And he it's almost that, you know, how you can tell, like when someone's looking into the middle distance and they're kind of, you can tell they're thinking about something else. He kind of like, when that expression is on his face, that's sort of what happens. Like it's like he goes elsewhere for a second and then comes back and grins a little at it, but it's a little sharper than usual. And he says, cute. Really more into the Impressionists these days, though. And he sits back in his chair, and he's still smiling, but again, like it all has that edge to it. It's not. He's not best pleased.
Yeah. Well, Charles is still holding it. But his own smile gets wider. So much for gold stars.
A boy can dream.
He doesn't put it away, but he puts it on his desk.
Rav does not look at it. Like, I'm sure you take my meaning, but like not in the way of like just like he's like,
yeah, he is actively pointedly making a point not to look at it.
He's not like covering his face or anything exactly, but he is laser focused on
anything else.
Yeah, probably largely just Charles, because he's the most interesting thing in the room, because he's like a moving, breathing, talking creature. But yeah, he's definitely not looking at it.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I do hope we'll meet up at Falafel on a Waffle one day. Still haven't gone there. I think when she was telling me about it, it's a little too fresh right now.
In your own time.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk about, Ra? Any questions?
I think this has been an incredibly productive session.
So do I. You have a wonderful day, Rav.
I will, he says, and he gets up, still not looking at the little bird statuette. And he doesn't even really like officially end the set. Like there's no like moment of small talk or what, you know, he turns toward the door, waves over his shoulder, and dips.
Little bird, little bird, little bird. What's chaining you? As Charles observes the little bird. Yeah, this specially made just for Rob. Just to push and see. Ah, yes. There's going to be so much fun with his new partner. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I'm not totally sure what I've just gotten Rav into exactly.
All right. And with that, I will end the broadcast. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. In the past, present, or future. Wherever and whenever you are. Bye-bye.